Okay everybody, so we're going to be doing a American flag today. This tutorial is by Pour Me Another. My name is Kristen. I have recently started recording my videos. The only thing that I've put down so far is a pearlescence by Creative Inspirations. My medium is Floetrol and water to about a medium thickness consistency. I measured out all of my lines and my blue with stars area. So we're going to layer out our colors and then I'm going to swipe through with black mixed with Australian Floetrol to get my cell reaction. Now, one of the reasons why I use the pearl essence in between my lines is because it does have a tendency to fade out a little bit. So I'm hoping that it gives me a little bit more of a crisper line once it fades into the white. Now, as I'm going through this, I'm making sure to cover my sides because it's a lot easier to get that now so that when I swipe, hopefully that excess paint that's sitting on the sides will pull the cells over and it'll give me a nice celled drip effect while I'm tilting. Now, if you notice, I'm coming in from the other side this time because if I continuously start pouring from the same side, just like this overpooled, then the white would be trying to squish through and it might make my paint a little uneven on that side. They're going to try and compete with one another. So I'm going to start from the other side and see if that helps. It's a working theory. The last thing that I want is to get pink in my flag. So that's one of the reasons why I chose the black to swipe with. A, I think it gives it a cool effect, and B, I am hoping with the pearlescence that it will keep it from turning too pinkish whenever my red and white start to mix. Now, by running my finger down it, not only am I evening out my paint and getting all of my colors to touch, but I'm also trying to push that red back a little bit so it doesn't fight too much with my white. And I'm trying to get as even stripes as I can. It's not going to be perfect. This is fluid art, but we can do our best. This is not my first time doing a American flag, but it is my first time doing it with an Australian Floetrol, so I'm very excited about that. I can't wait to see the cell reaction that I get. I think so far these lines look pretty good. I am liking them. All right, well, let's swipe this out, see how it goes. Fingers crossed. Now I'm just gonna load up my palette knife with my Flood Floetrol and black mixture. I want a decent amount because especially when I get down here, it's going to be a lot longer of a swipe that I have to do. But you just want to coat it just enough to skim over the top. So I'm going to start here because this is where I'm going to wind up having kind of more of a black blob that I can scrape off when I do my blue. Whoop. That's all right. We'll scrape that off. But we're just going to gently swipe over the top. And now I'm doing a little bit of a wave motion because who doesn't want a wavy American flag? Make sure you wipe off your palette knife after because you don't want to get those colors mixing in. Ooh, I really like it. Okay. And I'm going to try and go with the same waving motion because when it's blowing in the breeze, it's going to wave the same way for the most part. Now, sometimes that's easier said than done, but we will try. See, now this one, the black did not carry through as much, but we'll see how it pops up in the end. We still have to tilt, so I wouldn't start freaking out just yet because these definitely can still pop up. I did think it was only fitting for me to do for my first tutorial an American flag because I am currently active duty, and how I got involved in fluid art was because I will be getting out at the end or beginning of next year, unfortunately, due to medical reasons, and that brought me to this amazing art that I fell in love with to deal with a lot of the stress and anxiety of not being able to stay in the military for as long as I thought I would. So hopefully this one stretches all the way. We shall see. May need to put a little bit more black on my palette knife for these long ones. Now, this I am a little bit worried about that they're bleeding into one another, but I think the effect of the flag waving and that it's fluid art, it's not meant to be perfect, is going to help to still give the look that I'm going for. And as Molly always says, 'cause Molly's my favorite, it's just paint. So, finished swiping, we torched it. I love the cells coming through. This part did not get it as much, and I am debating on whether I want to swipe again, but I kind of don't want to because I just actually really love what's happening here. So I really think that I want to come this way a little bit just because I know I'm going to have to tilt this off, so I want to get as much as I can over here, then maybe even it out. So slow and steady wins the race on this one, especially because I don't want my lines to get too wonky. I really want to try and keep them as straight as possible. But I don't know if that's going to happen without it getting really, really, really stretched out. So let's just see. Yeah, my top is looking good, but I don't know about my bottom right now. I think I might need to tilt it back. And don't worry about anything getting on here. Not a big deal. We're going to take that plastic off, that tape off for me to do the blue separate. But actually, I think this is coming out really cool, guys. I lost a little bit of my white right in here, but I actually kind of love it. I think it gives it such a cool effect of almost a little tattered, a little worn. Okay, well, moment of truth is going to come when I pull this tape off because I could really mess up this entire thing. I'm going to torch one more time just because I tilted it, I moved it. Let's see what else pops up with torching it, adding a little bit of heat. I really think adding that pearlescent in though gave me such a beautiful smoky effect in here that I was hoping that it would give, but at the same time I think it did not lend to the white down here particularly. I probably should have went a little bit heavier over here, but you know, you win some, you lose some. Now pulling this tape off should be interesting. I have the option to wait until this dries a little bit more, but I do like the difficulty of trying to do all of my paintings while it is wet. I do a lot of landscapes and ocean scenes that I do the whole entire thing wet. I think that that's the whole purpose of this particular type of art. Okay. All right, so far so good. All right, not too bad. I do want to come from this way because I'm afraid if I pull up from the other way, it will get into my lines. Yes! I have my blue The blue that I am using, it's probably hard for you guys to see, but the thickness, hopefully you guys can see that. The blue is made up of actually a ton of different color blues, and it actually has some iridescent in it, a little bit of silver in it to give it a sparkle. Because one of the things that I like to do for my blue section of my flag is I like to make it look almost like a little bit like a galaxy. Instead of doing big stars and counting out 50, I like to flick some paint on it at the end to give it that starred look. So the blue, I try and give it a little bit more of a wispy galaxy, and I'll be swiping with the Pearl Essence to help me do that. So let's lay this down, which I think there's some stuff in here. I'm gonna have to get that out in a minute. But let's lay this down now. I am gonna come further away from my lines right now, and I will slide them over so that I butt up against them instead of trying to get it perfect with pouring. I am going to push it with my palette knife. So I'm going to put a majority of this in the middle, and then I will spread it out evenly. Now this part is the most difficult, I would say. I know the lines seem like they're really hard, but this part to me is a little bit more difficult because you can't really tilt it too much after this without kind of messing up your lines. So you have to be a little bit more particular and thought out and planned on how you're going to do this. So that's one of the reasons why I come in and I push the paint up and just kind of let it flow to meet it, because I already have that square, and now I'm just going to let the paint do what it does instead of me trying to force it to do what I want it to do. There we go. Okay, now because I do have so much paint, I'm going to push the excess away. This is also going to help me cover my sides and make sure that I don't have just big globs of paint everywhere. Okay, well, now that we got that part out of the way, we are so close. And I am very excited to see how this is going to come out. One of the last ones that I did, I tried to swipe with black and it just came out so dark. So I'm going to try the Pearl Essence first. If it doesn't work, I will swipe with black, but I kind of want my blue to be a little bit brighter, a little bit funner, a little bit different. This is definitely a fingers crossed type of moment, because I could really ruin this. All right, not too bad. Now I will tilt a little bit, but we can't tilt too much. So I may actually try and swipe the opposite way just to give it a different effect from what I had the last time, but I am really afraid that if I swipe it this way, it's going to go straight into there. Yeah, let's not do that. Oh, got something in it. Ooh, there's a big something. Last little swipe. All right, let's torch this. Now the only thing that I don't love is how perfectly straight this line is. And I really think I might actually swipe again, but with nothing on my palette knife. Just because I think it's going to give me that cool effect of different color blues running through it. And it'll also even out some of my paint and hopefully give me more cells. Let's see. All right, I'm feeling it. Oh, actually, I really like this. Oh, I love it. Oh, I think that's gorgeous. Oh, a little slippery right now. Okay, I'm gonna bring this just a little bit. Nope, don't want to do that. I'm gonna mess up my work so bad if I do that. Alright. I think I'm just gonna have to keep it this. I really messed up this part. See? Told you guys from the beginning I shouldn't tilt that much, and what did I do? Tilted that much. There we go. Okay, much better. I don't have the cells that I want, but I tried something new. Realized it wasn't going to work out as great as I wanted it to. But I think that it looks beautiful. I love that it almost has a watery effect. And then when I flick the paint in, once it's dry, it'll look like a galaxy. Okay, here's the finished product. So I did some splatter. And 3 layers of gloss varnish, Liquitex gloss varnish. But I think overall it came out beautiful. All right, let me know what you think. Like, subscribe.